If you want to stop shanking your irons, then this is the video for you. And look, in some ways, I'm hoping there's no need for this video for you because it's not a problem for you. Oftentimes, when players are shanking, it's soul destroying for your golf. And so in this video, what I want to do is show you a number of different ways, in fact, 6 different ways that you can approach improving or remedying this error in your game. Because like I said, it can be soul destroying. So let's go right through the entire video and have a look at 6 different ways that we can create some change in your swing so that we start to get rid of those shots forever. Hi, I'm Peter Knight. I've created this golf channel, Peter Knight Golf, to help you play the best golf you possibly can. And if you watch every video, aside from being overloaded, then I'm sure that there'll be some things that are going to help you with your golf. But today, it's about stopping shanking your irons. So the very first thing, probably the most obvious and the one that most people will go to first, is just standing a bit further from the ball. Now, obviously it's only relevant if you're standing too close. So let's have a look at a couple of things. A general check is that when I'm setting myself up, I've got a distance of about 10 centimeters from the butt of the club to my left leg. Now it's going to be a little bit further than that with a driver. Now if I stand with my body very upright, and you can probably tell just from watching this that I am standing too close. However, I've still got that 10 centimeter gap. So I need something more than that. So when I tilt myself forward, I'm looking for my upper body to tilt forward around about 45 degrees, roughly. I've got a bit of flex at my knee, so the front of my knee is over the end of my laces, and my hip socket here is roughly somewhere near my ankle or my heel. Now, the reason I'm pointing those alignments out is that if I'm standing, again, with that 10 centimeter gap, but these postural alignments are out, then I'm probably still standing too close to the ball. So with those postural alignments, setting myself up, and now I've got that 10 centimeter gap, now I've got plenty of room to swing the club through. So that's the first one. The second one is a perception about where the ball would be. When I swing the club back and through, of course I'm trying to hit the ball from the center of the club face, but 2 things. One, I'm human, so it doesn't happen very often. And the varying skill levels of players means that the dispersion on the club face is going to be bigger for the lesser skilled player. Now, if that dispersion tends to be too much in the toe or too much in the heel, then it's likely that the perception about where the ball is in relation to the club swinging might be out a little bit. Now, of course, in this case, with this video, we're talking about the player who feels like the center of the club face, when they're trying to get the center of the club face to meet the ball, it's always the heel. What we need to do is change that perception. Now, first and most obvious way, when you hit shots, feel like your contact point's going to be on the toe. May or may not help you. One thing you can do though is put down a guide. So in this case, I'm going to use a tee. So that when I set this tee up, I'm allowing myself just enough room from the center of the club face to the tee, so that if I swing through and my club hits that tee, then it's likely that I will have struck the ball, or not likely, I will have struck the ball heel side of the center of the club. So if I'm going to play a little shot from here, I just want to make sure that my club hits the ball and misses the tee. Which it did on that occasion. The tee is still there. So along with the first thing I mentioned about standing too close, there's another thing with balance that is going to influence those shots. And this is actually really common. If I make a swing and my balance goes to my toes, normally when my balance goes to my toes, if you see as my balance goes to my toes, I need to adjust my posture so that I can retain balance as I'm moving. And so that movement where the hips come into the ball is we call that early extension, but the key thing here is about the balance going to the toes. So if I swing back and through, balance goes to the toes, then my body would normally come forward. Now it's only got to come forward, a couple of centimeters, and I've gone from hitting the middle of the club face to hitting it into the heel. So a drill that you can do is to set yourself up, and you won't be able to see this in the video, but I'll explain it. All I've done is I've lifted my toes in my shoes. Now I'm not going to lift them so much that the top of my feet is going to cramp. It's just enough so that my balance has moved from being around the center of my feet to being a little behind center, just by lifting my toes up. And when I make that swing back and down and through, I'm looking to keep my toes up. After I've hit the ball, if my right heel comes up off the ground, then clearly my balance has gone to my toes. But the important thing is to retain that toe up position until impact. So have a go at that one as well. The next one is about fear. And a lot of the fear that's developed is going to manifest in tension in the body. When the tension is created in the body, then all sorts of things can happen in the swing. So the best way to monitor tension, reduce tension, is first of all to be aware of it. So when you're setting yourself up and hitting shots, even at address, notice whether or not there's tension in any part of your body. Now the likely culprits when you're hitting these poor shots is that tension is going to be hands, arms, shoulders, chest, neck. Very, very common. And of course, when that happens, your balance is going to be affected and the shot's definitely going to be affected. One way that you can monitor tension or look out for it, aside from sort of scanning, is first of all, play some shots with your eyes closed, or even making some practice swings with your eyes closed. When your eyes are closed, you become more sensitive to body sensations. So when your eyes are shut and you're making those practice swings, if you do notice those tensions creeping in, then make a conscious effort to let go of that tension. Close your eyes, make some more swings, and see if it makes any difference to those swings. And you'll find that just that awareness will definitely have an influence on what you're able to do. Now I've set this pool noodle up here because when the club swings through, another one of the key things that causes these shanked shots is that the hand path changes. So if I set myself up here, so at address, I've got a little bit of room between the shaft and the end of the pool noodle here. I've just got to make sure that I can see the ball when I make a swing doing this one. Now, when I address the ball and when I'm at impact, my hands are going to be in different positions. So you can see from here, at impact, my hands are further forward. From the down the line view, you'll see at impact, my hands are going to be slightly higher. Now that's because my body's in a different position at impact to what it started. So when I set this pool noodle up, I've got enough room so that I can swing the club through, swing it down to impact, and I've still got a little bit of clearance there. Now oftentimes with those shank shots, as the club's swinging down, the hands will move out further from the body. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the player's also likely to slice the ball, because my club can be here, my hand's out here, and then when the club swings through impact, it would otherwise hit a draw or a hook. So this is different to the path of the club. We're just talking about the path of the hands. So when I'm swinging back and through, if I swing through and my hands are too far away from me, I'm going to hit that pool noodle. Because of the way I've got it set up, no damage done, but definitely feedback so that I can tell that my hands are too far away. So from here, I'm looking to hit my shot without hitting that pool noodle as I go through. Now the final thing is when the club swings, the club face stays too open. So as the club's swinging down and through, my club face, let's say I'm approaching the ball, my club face here, or the bottom of the club is not quite vertical. It's leaning forward a little bit. Don't worry about how much it's leaning forward or being precise with it, but it's leaning forward or vertical. And then from here, the club's going to swing down and through the ball. And when I get to the other side of the swing, as you can see here, my club face is, or toe of the club, sorry, is either vertical or somewhere close to vertical, maybe not quite vertical. So there's some movement, there's some rotation to that club face. Now, if I swing the club down and my club face is now too open, when the club swings toward the ball, it may not have sufficient time to square back to the ball. Now, when I'm swinging the club through, if my club face is square, I've got the entire width of the club face to swing with. If my club face is open, aside from affecting the direction of the shot, it also gives me less effective club face to hit through. So just to sort of explain that a little bit further, if my club face is like 90 degrees to the target, I've got no club face to hit with. So if it's a little bit open, it narrows that. So the best thing to do if you think that could be the cause is that when you play some little shots, swing the club back, see where your club face is, deliberately close it a bit, and then play some little shots through. Now, if you do that, so if I play a little shot here, swing it back, close it a little bit, and then get the feeling of swinging through from there, when I do that, my shot, like that one, is going to draw. So there's a whole list of things that you can control, that you can try to help your shot. So we've got club face control, club path control, monitoring tension levels in your body, having a look at where the club face, club head is in relation to the ball, and using the T as we started off earlier. So there's, and the other ones that I mentioned there as well. So give those a try. It might not be any one that's more beneficial than another, but it might be a combination of them. And if you've watched through all of these, give them a try, find out which one works best for you. And like I said at the very beginning, hopefully you haven't needed this video. If you have, hopefully you only have to watch it this once and you never have to watch it again.